Rituals and routines have a lot in common. They help us delineate time and space, they support our goals and our lifestyles, and they can be extremely grounding and create predictability in our days and structure, while at the same time being uplifting and energizing and freeing. But there's a big difference between rituals and routines. And that is the level of consciousness and attention and energy that you bring to each. And for that reason, I resisted creating or living by routines for years. So to me, routines just felt really heavy and confining, and even the word just felt like constricting and very militant to me. And I've talked about this before, but my values are just feeling free and spontaneous and alive. And I just felt like implementing a routine would really constrict that and constrain that and wouldn't leave me feeling this way. And so, especially in my early 20s, I spent a lot of time just like crashing around New York City, not really creating much structure or routine. I would stay up late partying some nights, and then I would get up super early other days. And I took, many jobs that were misaligned and didn't create much structure in my days. And sometimes I would make progress in my business. Other times I wouldn't make any progress. So it was very haphazard in that way. And I kind of just did like whatever I wanted, wherever I wanted. And that was my motto. Like, I do what I want and I don't really follow a schedule, and I'm just like this free bird. So that sounds pretty good, right? But the only problem is it left me feeling extremely anxious and just disconnected and really directionless and purposeless in my days. So in my late 20s, I finally decided that it's time to get my shit together, right? And maybe this is a little bit later than a lot of you bloomed, but I just got to a point where I had to stop all the nonsense and really just create some structure and routine for myself. And so what I did, I remember I just like wrote down my goals, wrote down this whole list of what I'm going to do every day to support those goals and every week. And then I put it all into a Google Calendar and color coded everything. And I was like, there you go. You have structure and a base for everything. And you're going to move through that every day and every week. And you're going to march towards your goals like this disciplined soldier. And the only problem with that is I went from one side of the spectrum to the other, which we often have to do when we're really trying to improve something in ourselves. But I went to the other extreme, and it left me feeling just depressed and really mindless and just disengaged and uninterested in my days. It was like I had just sucked the fire out of my passion and personality and put it into this structured routine. So that also wasn't working. And I finally came home to the solution, and that was creating rituals over routines. Rituals will set you free. So I always share a lot of quotes, and there's a Beethoven quote that I love. And he says, "To make music, one must have the spirit of a gypsy and the discipline of a soldier." And what he's speaking to is just finding that balance between chaos and order and spontaneity and commitment and rituals and routines, right? And for me, learning to walk that line and create that balance in my life and shifting my focus from building these solid kind of confining routines to creating or designing these fluid rituals changed everything for me. So what's the difference between rituals and routines? Rituals and routines. Routines are more concrete, right? They create a foundation. They bring repetition and familiarity to our days and structure to our days. And I think routines can be extremely powerful when you are hyper-focused on accomplishing a certain goal, like launching a business or writing a book or traveling around the world, right? These kind of things really are supported well by having a routine that is designed to support that goal or outcome. And the only problem for me is, and I think the problem in the personal development space, is a lot of us are encouraged to create routines, but we're not encouraged to continually assess and update them, right? So if you're designing a routine for a specific period of time and a specific outcome, I think they're extremely powerful. But if you're somebody in this personal growth space and you're continually changing your beliefs around your identity and your lifestyle and even what you're working on, a lot of us entrepreneurs are constantly shifting our focus, then I believe routines can get stale extremely quickly. Rituals, on the other hand, elevate routines. So it's like taking a routine and then adding in these layers of consciousness and energy and intention to bring it to another level and invite that level of celebration and creativity and meaning into these routines or this foundation that you've already built. So if you think about it, there really isn't a culture anywhere in the world that doesn't employ rituals in their lifestyles, right? They use rituals for celebrations and for transitions and for making connections, like other social connections and with family members. And so to me, why not bring that celebratory energy and that creative energy into our daily lives? To give an example of this, a routine might be setting the table every night for you and your spouse, but elevating that to a ritual, you might bring out your favorite ceramic plates to add color and creativity to the table. Maybe you light some candles or you add a bouquet of flowers. So see the difference now? The routine is the kind of foundation or more the automated methodical activity, but the ritual is the added layer on top of it to bring in meaning and celebration and creativity to that routine. So because I resisted routines for so long, I took any part of my day that would incorporate some structure or some repetition, and I created rituals around those routines. So I elevated those routines to a ritual. And for example, one could be my shower in the morning. So obviously showering is something that many of us do, most of us do, and it's a very mundane, repetitive task. And I always just kind of felt like it was not really super exciting or obviously the highlight of my day. So I took my shower and I thought about it creatively. How can I make this more of a ritual and add some meaning and creativity to it? And so what I did is I got a wireless shower speaker and I would play music, or I do play music in the mornings, and I listen to that while I shower and I kind of dance and have fun with it. And I will be very mindful when I'm washing my hair or washing my body, and I will be paying attention to the sensations that I'm feeling of the warm water and the suds of the soap, and just kind of having that, full sensory experience. What else? I'll even take the time in the shower and I'll kind of think about what I'm grateful for either from yesterday or the day that's to come. And I'll kind of use that time to uplift myself and just kind of run through my gratitude practice as well. So I've taken a shower, which is a very, again, like mundane, automated, repetitive task, and I've made it something meaningful and elevated it to a full mind-body experience. So bringing this into your own life, whenever I am running through my Self by Design Method program with clients, I always use one of the first few sessions to design these routines and rituals, because that's going to be, again, the foundation and the rhythm for you working towards this dream or this desire or whatever we're working on together. So I always encourage using a little template. Again, there's like that structure and that consistency, and then you add in your meaning and creativity into that template. And for me, that template looks like movement, meditation, and mindset. So every morning I will set aside whatever time I have. Usually it's 20, 20, 20. If I have extra time, it will be 30, 30, 30. You can do whatever works for you. So I've worked with single moms who don't have a ton of time in the morning, or any mom really, and they will do 5, 5, 5 or 10, 10, 10. And the important piece is really just creating that consistency and that rhythm for yourself and showing up for yourself and being intentional about how you're priming your body and your mind for the day. So that template of movement, meditation, mindset can also be anything that really supports you and your lifestyle and your goals. So I kind of have, let's say, movement, let's say that's the overarching category. And within that time slot and those 20 to 30 minutes, I could do yoga. I could choose to dance or foam roll and stretch or cardio, right? And so it's not the same methodical robotic thing every day, and it feels uplifting and freeing and energizing. And if it doesn't, then I know it's time to add in something else or change it up a bit. For meditation, I might just get on Insight Timer and use that app and listen to a meditation for 20 to 30 minutes. Or I will do kind of my own loving kindness meditation, and I will send love to those people in my life that I think need it most, or to whatever's going on in the world. Or I will take that time to do my gratitude practice. So I'm, again, using that time slot and knowing I'm showing up intentionally to meditate and connect in that way, but it's never the same thing every day, especially for long periods of time. And then for mindset, you could be journaling. That's often what I do, or setting intentions or reciting affirmations. Maybe revisiting your vision board and kind of getting that back in your mind and prepared for how you're going to move through your day and your week. Mindset really could be anything, even reading a book or listening to a podcast. So just kind of priming your mind for the day. And again, just creating that structure, moving through those pieces has been so supportive of those around me and the people that I've worked with and for myself. And I think it's very powerful to have this template, but not have the confinement of every day I do yoga followed by a 20-minute like loving kindness meditation, and then I do journaling. And sometimes that works for people and sometimes it works for a period of time, but I have found eventually it doesn't work, especially if you are doing the work to become a different version of yourself, because you're changing. And so your routines and your rituals need to change with you. Transforming your routines to rituals will transform your life. So you're taking that morning commute and you are making it a journey into your favorite podcast or audiobook. Or you're taking that shower in the morning, that automated mundane task, and you're making it a full body sensory experience. Or you are taking that table setting chore and you are elevating it to a show of love and appreciation for your partner. And so moving this way creates a very intentional life. And an intentional life is always a celebrated life, a life full of meaning and creativity. And a life full of meaning and celebration and creativity is always a life by your own design.